Yes, it is time for the Week 8 video update for the Westside Fantasy Premier Super Dog Terrific Spectacular, whatever we call it, league. And let's see, I am not prepared with the stats, so I'm going to ad-lib for a second while the page loads. Hey! All right, the page is up. And we had, of course, once again, 6 games. And once again, there really weren't any close games. What is going on with that? I mean, some were kind of close, but I don't think there was a lot of drama on Monday night, which is really where the fun comes in, I feel, is when Monday night is kind of like one guy could drop the ball and change the whole game. So I'll just launch right into it. Coming into this week in the Superman division, also known as Division 1, the Flaming Homers and You Betcha were basically playing for the lead in the division in essence, because You Betcha was 5-2 and the Flaming Homers were 4-3. So because of the whole points total thing, Flaming Homers would leap over You Betcha if they won, and actually that's exactly what happened. Flaming Homers really just whomped. This might have been the whomping of the week. Whomped You Betcha. And what's interesting about that, of course, is that this was the bye week for Brady and Welker, so you'd think that this would be a week for Flaming Homers, but came up with 142 points anyway on the strength of 48 from Brett Favre, the substitute quarterback, 14 from Deshaun Jackson, 13 from Terrell Owens, 16 from D'Angelo Williams, 12 from Brent Selleck, 12 from the San Diego defense. It all adds up to 142. Now, over on the other side, going into Monday night, You Betcha still had Breeze and some other guy, to go, and Breeze can put up a lot of points, but he needed to put up about 100, and that didn't happen. Instead, it put up only a mere 39. But other than that, things look pretty slim. There were only 3 guys on the entire team, 3 players on the entire You Betcha squad that got more than 5 points, and that ain't gonna do it. 4. I'll just read them down: 39, 4, 4, 13, 7, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2. That's just not going to cut the sweet hot mustard. 77 points, and that's a pretty significant loss for You Betcha. That enables Flaming Homers to overleap You Betcha and take first place in the Superman division. Liam Neeson is only in 3rd place because of points, only a very slim number of points, as Liam Neeson beat Smell This in, I think, the closest game of the week, 137 to 126. 42 from a reinvigorated Tony Romo, and 29.3 from MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew, the UCLA product, as they say. That must burn Phil, that he's getting his points from. That if it weren't for a standout performance from a UCLA guy, he'd have lost to Drew. That is, I don't know. There should be I should have like a Jim Cramer-esque sound effect to hit, like, sell, sell, sell. Uh-oh. And I should not knock over the camera. That's what I'll do. I'll knock over the camera. Anyway, 29 from Maurice Jones-Drew, 11 from Marion Barber, 10 from David Akers. Over on the other side, Drew had an excellent game from the guy he was prepared to trade for food a few weeks ago. Matt, running is my forte, with 24 points. Other than that, 13 from Big Baby Braylon Edwards, 13 from Kevin Boss. Who the hell's that? Percy Harvin with 14. But only 1 from the Arizona, just 1 from the Arizona defense. At least they got the 1. I mean, it could have been worse. 126 to 137. No real drama on Monday night. This was a walkover, even though the score was actually close. Is that right? Yeah, pretty much. This was pretty much sealed up. Anywho, Liam Neeson goes to 5-3. Smell This drops to a not so impressive 2-6. All right, next game: Smack Attack 3 and the Jolly Rogers. And the Jolly Rogers, as you may recall, were undefeated and are on a tiny bit of a losing tear over the last few weeks. But they pulled this one out 137 to 120. Again, there was a little drama in that the Smack Attack actually had a 6-point lead going into last night. But, Tommy had, who did he have? He had Pierre Thomas and another guy. Pierre Thomas and Mike Bell. The two of them needed to get 6 points. Pierre Thomas himself got 20. Mike Bell got another 2.9. And he ended up with a pretty strong 137 to 120 win. Phillip Rivers had a sort of disappointing 28 points for Smack Attack 3. Steve Smith was strong. Greg Jennings from Green Bay, Tim Hightower, Justin Fargas. But it wasn't quite enough, and Tommy wins the game and goes to 5-3, which actually puts him in third place in the Batman division. So that division is tough. Back over in the Superman division, the Invisible Cows coming in winless and remain winless, sadly. Jake sat McNabb and put in Warner. He of the 5 interceptions the other day. 25 points from Warner, and that's lucky because it was minus 10 on interceptions. Other than that, only one guy. Well, he had 17 from a Baltimore defense, which he can thank his father for giving him that last-minute tip. You're welcome. 10 points from Brandon Jacobs. Other than that, it's pretty slim. It's a lot of 2s and 5s and 1s and 6s and 3s, and that ain't going to cut it. Over on the other side, DeBiz did not have a great game, but it was enough to beat the Invisible Cows. 23 from Cutler, 19 from Frank Gore, 11 from the New York Jets defense, and that's about it. So DeBiz draws even at 4-4 in the Superman division, which puts him a game behind, but in fourth place. Smell This is in fifth. Invisible Cows in the cellar at 0-8, winless. Okay, Bretta Is and the Eye. This is another in the continuing series of surprisingly lopsided losses for the Eye. I don't know what to say. Aaron Rodgers put 52 big points on the board for Bretta Is. And then Michael Turner with 21, 18 from the Dallas defense. It all added up to 126 points. The problem is the Eye is having trouble generating points in the kind of rank and file of the players. Matt Ryan had a decent game at 30, 15 from Joseph Adai, 17 from Ray Rice, 18 from the Nolans defense. But Sean Green, who spells his name wrong for the Jets, brought shame to his family with a negative 0.2 points. And a couple of other guys got close to shame-bringing. Lance Moore got 1.1. I guess it's not shame-bringing, but, That drops the Eye to 3-5. And Bretta Is climbs to 4-4, which puts him in fourth place in the Batman division. And I'll review Batman division standings in a second. Last game of the week was Ruff the Passer and Ghetto Superstar. Ruff the Passer guaranteed defeat in this game. And he delivered, boy. And he didn't even have to bench his players to do it. Matt Schaub came back to earth, getting only 25 points. 22 from Steven Jackson, 17 from LaDainian Tomlinson, 4 from the Green Bay defense. But there wasn't enough. It only added up to 111. Ghetto Superstar had another strong day and got 153 points, the highest point total of the week. 24 from Joe Flacco, who looks like Siler. Marquez Colston with 14. Vincent Jackson with 16. Chris Johnson with 35 big points. What did he do to get 35 points? 13 for Miles Austin and 29 for the Chicago defense. On the other hand, Steve Slayton did bring a little shame to his family with a negative 0.9 points, but all in all, it was plenty. 153.4 to 111.3. That brings Ghetto Superstar up to 6-2, and Ruff the Passer drops his first game of the year, 7-1. So here's how it looks. In the Superman division, Flaming Homers with a points-based lead, 5-3, 3 teams at the top. You Betcha, Liam Neeson followed close behind by DeBiz, only one game, and then Smell This and the Invisible Cows. Ruff the Passer, 7-1, is in the lead in the Batman division, followed by Ghetto Superstar at 6-2. Jolly Rogers at 5-3. Bretta Is at 4-4. The Eye at 3-5, and Smack Attack 3 at 2-6. So that's 7-6-5-4-3-2. Interesting. All right, and that's the way it looks. Oh, a quick note about survival football. Nobody made any mistakes this week. So I guess it was just one of those kinds of weeks. Next week's, it's brother versus brother, as Flaming Homers goes against Jolly Rogers. Smell This plays Bretta Is. Smack Attack 3 takes on You Betcha. Ruff the Passer against a tough Liam Neeson team. The Invisible Cow's going for its first win against the Eye. And Ghetto Superstar up against DeBiz. All should be exciting, compelling matchups. And hope you guys are having fun playing fantasy football. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.